Now come back to page number 61. Come to page number 61. All of you. Come to page number 61. Now on page number 61, there is something called Curie-Weiss law or Curie-Weiss law. Now please remember this. This law is applicable to ferromagnetic substances only. How Curie law was applicable only to paramagnetic substances, Curie-Weiss law is applicable only to ferromagnetic substances. And what does the law state? Please look at the screen. Susceptibility is inversely proportional to T minus Tc, where if I remove proportionality sign, I will get equal to constant T minus Tc. I'll get equal to constant T minus Tc, where what does T stand for? T stands for absolute temperature and Tc stands for Curie temperature and Tc stands for Curie temperature. Please make a note. Now, see page number 61 in your module and see the side heading Curie-Weiss law. See the side heading Curie-Weiss law and look at it. What is written? At temperatures above Curie temperature, the magnetic susceptibility of ferromagnetic material is inversely proportional to T minus Tc. Therefore, susceptibility is inversely proportional to T minus Tc, or susceptibility is equal to C divided by T minus Tc. This is called Curie-Weiss law. Therefore, write down as it is. Remember, this law is for ferromagnetic substances. Okay, start.
So we have to write first on the screen what is written and then the Curie-Weiss law. Na?
If you write on page number 61, Curie-Weiss law, what is written? That is enough. I have written a summary on the screen.
Okay, sir.
Written all of you? Okay. Now, if you turn the page, you will get one table of diamagnetic, paramagnetic, and ferromagnetic substance. Just check. You will get one table. In your notebook also, you have written the table and you have written the difference, all of you. But now, look at point number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Look at point number 7. Dependence on temperature. Just check. Page number 62. Page number 62. Point number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What is the point? Dependence on temperature. Can you see? So if you see, diamagnetic substance does not depend upon temperature. Next point, inversely proportional to temperature because of Curie's law, paramagnetic, and ferromagnetic is Curie-Weiss law. Did you understand now? Can I say you got one more point? That is the difference between diamagnetic, paramagnetic, and ferromagnetic. You got one more point. That is the difference between temperatures. So you can add it in your table also. The diamagnetic substance does not depend on temperature. Paramagnetic follows Curie's law for temperature, and ferromagnetic substances follow Curie-Weiss law for temperature. Start. Make a note or continue in your table itself. Okay, continue.
So in that diamagnetic substance, it is written as except by at the low temperature. Why that?
Yeah, that is, I think, except for bismuth, low temperature means except for that particular diamagnetic substance, it is valid. But don't write what is inside the bracket. Finished? Okay. Now, come back to page number 69. Come back to page number 69. In that side heading, magnetic materials, have you seen? Correct. In that first one, you have finished. What is the first one? Diamagnetic substances are weakly repelled by magnets. Weakly means feebly. Both are same. Now, try to solve the second question. Start. Try to solve the second question. Try to solve the second question. When a diamagnetic solution is poured into a U-tube, U-tube means a tube which is in the shape of a U. Check like this. This is a U-tube where liquid is put inside this. Okay. So listen, if a diamagnetic solution is poured into a U-tube and one arm of the U-tube is placed between the poles of a strong magnet. So one arm, let me place one arm between the poles of a north magnet and a south pole of a magnet. So I'm putting a horseshoe magnet. Did you understand the diagram now? There is a U-tube which is filled in liquid, diamagnetic liquid. And around one arm of the U-tube, I put a magnet. Then, okay, which is in line with the meniscus. Meniscus means it is at line with the upper level of the liquid. Then, what happens to the solution? Tell me. This is the solution which is kept. And if I keep a magnet over here, tell me what will happen. So can I say the liquid is repelled by the magnet, correct? Because diamagnetic substances are repelling. Therefore, can I say the liquid will fall from here and the liquid will increase over here because the liquid wants to go away from the magnet, or the liquid is repelled from the magnet? Please look at the screen carefully. If there is a magnet here, the liquid does not want to stay there. The liquid gets repelled. Liquid cannot go on top because if it goes on top, it will still be near the magnet. Therefore, liquid tries to retract. Retract means the liquid falls down from here. If it falls down from here it will definitely go up. But over here, the level of the liquid will fall because it repels. Okay, therefore answer will be B. It will fall because it is repelled from the magnet. And you know, diamagnetic substances are repelled by magnets. Therefore, answer for the first one, I hope everyone has got the answer. Answer is C. Answer for the second one is B. Now try to solve the third one. Try to solve the third one. Try to solve
Diamagnetic.
Diamagnetic. C.
If a magnetic substance is kept in a magnetic field, then which of the following is thrown out? Means which of the following is repelled? Thrown out means repelled. Tell me, out of diamagnet, paramagnet, and ferromagnet, which one is repelled? Can I say diamagnetic is repelled? Therefore, answer for the third one is also diamagnetic. Therefore, first one, second one, third one. Tell me, all three are clear? First one, second one, third one,
Yes.
all three are clear. Now, fourth one, very important question. Which is the universal property of all substances? Answer is diamagnetism. Universal property means which property can be universally brought about to all substances. Now I know ferromagnetic can be brought about in a very few substances. Paramagnetic can be brought about in little more substances. But universally, which property can I bring about to all substances? Answer is diamagnetism. If you want, you can write it as a separate point also. The universal property of all substances is diamagnetism. Very, very important point, plus a very, very important question. Question number 4, answer is A, diamagnetism. The universal property of all substances is diamagnetism. Okay, so look at question number 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me, any doubt in these 4 questions? Question number 1, 2, 3, 4.
No.
All clear? Fifth one, take it as homework. Your homework 1 for today. Fifth one, take it as homework. Start solving sixth one. Tell me the answer for the sixth one. Start.
C. It is negative.
Correct. Identify the wrong statement. Okay. So option A, diamagnetic substances do not have permanent magnetic moment. That means they cannot be permanently magnetized. Correct. Option A is correct. Option B, diamagnetism is explained in terms of electromagnetic induction. I am not aware because electromagnetic induction is still not there. So I don't know. Option C, diamagnetic materials have a small positive susceptibility. Can I say this is wrong? Because diamagnetic substances susceptibility is negative. Check the table. Susceptibility for a diamagnetic substances is negative. Therefore, can I say option C is definitely wrong? Option D, the magnetic moment of individual electrons neutralize each other. I have no idea. but I know for sure that option A is right. Option B and D, I have no idea, but option C is definitely wrong as of now. Therefore, what they have asked, which of them is wrongly stated? Therefore, can I say C is wrongly stated? Diamagnetic materials do not have small positive susceptibility, they have negative susceptibility. Is it clear, all of you? Now, look at question number 7. Which of the following is not a characteristic of diamagnetism? Start.
C.
Which of the following is not a characteristic of diamagnetism?
Orbital.
C.
Answer will be C itself, because the origin of diamagnetism is orbital motion, not spin. Spin is what for paramagnetic. For diamagnetic, what is the origin? For diamagnetic, the origin is orbital motion. Check the table again. Check the table of diamagnetism, paramagnetism, and ferromagnetism. In that, the origin of diamagnetism will be the orbital motion of the electrons, not the spin of the electrons. Just check. Got it? Therefore, can I say
Yes.
question number 7? Answer is C. Now, come to question number 9. Tell me, what answer do you think will be there for question number 9?
Positive, very high. A option.
Positive but low, but small.
Positive
Option
and
B.
very high and positive but small are two different options. Check which one will be matching our particular answer.
It should be D.
So look at the table and give me the answer, all of you. Marin, correct. Very good.
D.
C. Shalu, correct. 312 11 science, C, correct. Sakshi, correct. Correct. Disha, correct. Purnima, correct. Okay, now let me only tell the answer. Sejal, correct. The magnetic susceptibility of a paramagnetic material. From the table, I know susceptibility for a paramagnetic is positive but small. Look at the table. Therefore, option A is positive but very high. That is for ferromagnetic. Option B, negative. That is for diamagnetic. Option C, negative and very high. That is for nothing. Option D, positive but small. That is for paramagnetic. And they have asked for paramagnetic substance itself. Therefore, can I say ninth one answer will be D. Ninth one answer will be D. Now, look at 10th one. Tell me what should be the answer for the 10th one. What should be the answer for the 10th one? The relative permeability is represented by mu r and the susceptibility is denoted by xi for a magnetic substance. Then for a paramagnetic substance, what will be the answer? Look at all the options and tell me which option will be the exact match. Which option will be the exact match?
Both should be greater and positive.
There is no confusion in the option. Option is correct. So you have to see which option matches.
D.
Answer will be option D. Again, check your table. Relative permeability also is greater than 1 and susceptibility also is greater than 0. 1 minute. Answer will be D. Relative permeability greater than 1 and susceptibility greater than 0. Again, the answer is in the table. I hope you all are clear with this. 10th one answer is D. Got it, all of you? 10th one answer is D. Now, 11th one, let me tell you the concept and let us go ahead with the concept of 11th one. Listen to this. The variation of susceptibility with magnetizing field, susceptibility with magnetizing field, that is H. Answer is susceptibility is actually independent for a magnetic field for a paramagnetic substance. I'm giving you a clue. For a paramagnetic substance, magnetic susceptibility is independent of the field. Now tell me which graph represents independence. Means x-axis and y-axis are not related. Tell me which graph represents that.
Is it A?
So, yes, correct. But you should understand why.
Didn't understood, sir.
Not dependent on L.
Correct. That means if H changes, Xi does not get affected with change in H. It remains as it is. Therefore, answer will be A. And remember the keyword. For a paramagnetic substance, magnetic susceptibility does not depend on magnetizing field. Therefore, answer is A. Now I'll give you a combo question. I want both the answers together with logic. Question number 12 and question number 13. See both the questions. Don't look at the answers. Try and tell me what do you think should be the answer for question number 12 and 13. Start.
For 12, is it B?
Solve both and then I'll tell you. Twelfth one, only one option is correct. Tell me which one. I want 12th one answer immediately. See, 12th one, they are saying paramagnetism is associated with negative susceptibility. Option A. That is wrong because paramagnetism does not have negative susceptibility. Look at option B. Diamagnetism is generally the weakest, correct? And is associated with negative susceptibility. Therefore, option B looks right. Option C. Ferromagnetism is strongest, correct? And is associated with negative susceptibility. That is wrong because ferromagnetism has very high positive susceptibility. Therefore, can I say option C is wrong? Option A is wrong. As of now, option B is correct. Now look at option D. All three are associated with positive susceptibility. There itself is wrong. Therefore, A, C, and D are wrong. The only option that is left, that is right, is option B. Therefore, 12th one answer will be B, which is direct. Now tell me the answer for the 13th one. Start.
So D.
Is not associated. It is not associated
C.
for a ferromagnetic?
C.
Okay, let us start. It is strongly attracted by a magnet. It is correct. It is strongly attracted by a magnet. That is correct. It tends to move from a region of strong magnetic field to a weak magnetic field. That is wrong, because ferromagnetic gets attracted towards the magnetic field. So it does not go from strong to weak. It goes from weak to strong. Option B is wrong. Option C, its origin is the spin of electrons. Partially wrong, because its origin is the domain theory. Therefore, which of the following is not associated? B is not associated. C is partially not associated. D, above the Curie temperature, it behaves like a paramagnetic. That is correct. E, its magnetic susceptibility is large and positive. That is also correct. Therefore, the right options are B and C. So if you have selected either B or C or both, then your answer is correct. C is partially correct. B is completely wrong. Others are perfectly right. A, D, and E. A, D, and E perfectly explain how a ferromagnetic substances should behave. Did you understand this? Therefore, what is the
Can
answer
you
for the answer for the
Why
12th
C
one
is
is
isn't-
B?
Why C is partially wrong?
Because ferromagnetic is based on domain theory, not only spin of electrons. I have told you that diamagnet is based on orbital, paramagnetic is based on spin, and ferromagnetic is based on domain theory. Okay. And if you want to check in your module itself, in your module page number 62, see the table first point. Page number 62, there is a table property. See the property first point. Explanation of magnetism. See how it is based on diamagnetic, paramagnetic, ferromagnetic. Is ferromagnetic based on spin of electrons, or is paramagnetic based on spin of electrons? Just check. Understanding?
So can you explain that B point, why it's wrong?
A ferromagnetic substance gets attracted to a magnet, correct? A ferromagnetic substance gets attracted to a magnet. Therefore, please look at the screen. A ferromagnetic substance gets attracted to a magnet. Therefore, a magnet is here, okay? And when next to the magnet, I will have strong magnetic field. Therefore, ferromagnetic substance will go towards the magnet. That means it will go from weak magnet to a strong magnet. Means weaker field to a stronger field. But in option B, what they have said, it is going from stronger field to a weaker field. Going from a stronger field to a weaker field means it is going away from the magnet. Does a ferromagnet go away from a magnet? Answer is no. It is exactly the opposite. It goes from weaker to the stronger part. That is why option B is completely wrong. Okay, because when they say it goes from a stronger part to a weaker part, indirectly they are meaning to say they are going away from the magnet, ferromagnetism. But ferromagnets don't go away from the magnet, they go towards the magnet. And more they go towards the magnet, more and more stronger the field becomes, because the field is strongest very close to the magnet. That is why option B is completely wrong. Actually, option B is completely opposite. Actually, option B should have been, it tends to move from a region of weak magnetic field to a strong magnetic field. Then that option would be correct for ferromagnetic. This option, what they have given, it will hold true for diamagnetic substance, not for ferromagnetic substance. Okay, all of you?
Got it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, so on this particular line, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, all are done. Just check. Other than 14, 14th one, I'll do it later. But other than 14, 10 to 16, tell me if you have any doubt in any of these questions.
No.
Come to the next one. Tell me, we have finished 17th one, correct? We have finished 17th one. 1 minute. Seventeenth one, we have finished, correct? Now tell me, what should be the answer for the 19th one? Start. What should be the answer for the 19th one? What is the clue I can give you? Last class we have done relative permeability is 1 plus susceptibility. Remember this formula last class. Relative
Yes.
permeability is 1 plus susceptibility.
D.
You have to be very careful between option C and D. Okay, you have to be very careful between the option C and D. See, the formula is on your screen. Relative permeability is 1 plus susceptibility. So what they have said, relative permeability is 5,500. Relative permeability is 5,500 is equal to 1 plus xi. Therefore, xi is equal to 5,500 minus 1. Therefore, answer will be 5,499. Therefore, answer will be D. Check everyone. Answer will be D. 5499. Check. Relative permeability is 1 plus susceptibility. Correct? Now, tell me, when we are doing the derivation of a solenoid, total magnetic induction of a solenoid is induction of a non-metal plus induction of a metal. Check the derivation. Then what was the next step? B is equal to mu naught H plus mu naught mz. Therefore, B is equal to mu naught H plus mz. Remember the starting 3 lines of our derivation. Check all of you. Do you remember the starting 3 lines of our derivation? All of you, please confirm. Now, look at this step. This is the total magnetic field of induction. Now, looking at this step, tell me what should be the answer for 20th one. Start. In an isotropic medium means like a solenoid, which has both magnetic field and non-magnetic field. What is the relation? Check. I have already done the answer on the screen. Now tell me which option
D.
comes closer to this. Option D. Check D. D for Delhi. Why I have shown you the explanation on the screen. Check the explanation on the screen. We have started the derivation with these 3 steps. Please check your derivation. Where the total magnetic field is magnetic field of a metal plus non-metal, mu naught H plus mu naught mz. Therefore, mu naught into H plus mz. That itself is the answer D, 20th one. Check. Correct, all of you? Now, 22nd one we have finished. Just check. 22nd one we have finished. Please confirm. Yes.
Yes.
24th one we have finished. Please confirm.
Yes.
Yes.
23rd one is your homework. Have I told you already?
No.
23rd one is your homework. Written your homework? Okay. Now, take down other homework also for today so that you have some things to solve. Okay. So I will give you right now. Homework will be page number 65. Page number 65. Question number . Make a note. These 5 questions from page number 65. 13, 16, 17, 18, 21. Page number 66. (26), 27, and 4. Page number 67. Question number 18. And remaining I have anyway given. This is the homework. Finished? Let me know. Okay. Okay. With that, we will stop for today. So I will see you in the next class. Please do the homework and I will continue in the next class. Okay. Thank you all of you.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.